What we're doing up here, we're doing a day in the life of Harry Lightfoot. This is not Harry's usual stomping grounds. This is deep north territory of Gull. So they all talk like that. First session, car wash. This week, the way this is fallen is on a reload week, so reduced volume and probably the weights are a little bit lighter as well. Tailing it back, an easier week, and then go into sort of a next block. I know you wouldn't want to drive a car on the limiter all the time, would you? I do like 3 heavy weeks on, 1 sort of reload, and some people maybe reload, deload every 6 weeks. That's me. The go. Just get lost.
You think we have to?
Get out of the way. I think most people want me to say like, yeah, I got into it wanting to be like a CrossFit Games athlete, but I really didn't. I was like the fact that it was like constantly varied and always different every time I walked in, I was like, great, for someone like me, probably with a bit of sprinkle of ADHD or something in there, like to have it always changing and stuff like that, I loved it. And then like after like a couple of years and all good opens and whatever, I was like, okay, let's give this a go. I'm Harry Lightfoot. I am a professional CrossFit athlete from the UK, and I'm the UK's fittest man. When I first got into it, like looking into the sport like that, they're the top, they're the pinnacle of the sport. So now to be included in that is quite an honour. I never sort of got into this for that, and now to have that name under my belt is quite an honour, and I sort of look to try and hold that for many seasons to come. Functional, we'll go with intensity if we'll keep it at one word. Functional, intensity, and varied. Bench press.
Same.
Really? Yeah, you go. Least favourite one, so it would be the first workout semi-finals this year. Hated it. It was 4 800 metre run and clean and jerks, but it was awful. Have you ever watched In-Betweeners when Neil is like airplane driver? Probably something stupid like that. I'd say something stupid like that. In all seriousness, I would be in the fitness industry and doing a lot more coaching. I grew up in Cornwall, and I think down in Cornwall, sports like, especially like rugby, are like rife in the county, like a bit like going to Wales, like it's the top sport. And I think growing up, I've almost always had a bit more of a passion for things that require like a physical attribute to it, and a bit more like active and hands-on rather than pen pushing and being in the classroom and stuff like that. So it was always like quite a sporty kid growing up. I discovered it because not even that long ago, like I think I was 17 or 18. One of my friends, like I was playing rugby still, and one of my friends was like, I found this new training method. It's called CrossFit, and he would try and sort of teach me a couple of things. I remember like being in the school gym trying to teach me how to like do a movement with a dumbbell, and I couldn't get my head around it. And there was this local gym, and he sort of like, come down and try it. And I wasn't too keen. I thought I'll go give it a go, just so I have almost like opinion and a verdict on it. And then I was like, wow, like the fact it was varied and different all the time really like helped me. Maybe like bit of ADHD, like having all the sort of change all the time is quite nice. And I thought it was a really good strength and conditioning program that worked well with rugby. So yeah. I only did for the start off. I only did it for the training method, and then lockdown hit. And before then, I was only doing maybe like 1 or 2, 3 CrossFit sessions a week. So I was just sort of doing it all the time because I wasn't playing rugby anymore. And that was the sort of defining moment of an open season turned up. I'd entered an open before, but sort of now obviously spent a bit more time and dedicated a bit more time to training. I gave it a go and thought, okay, actually I could give this a go. Maybe met my peak in rugby, see how far we can go with this. Friends and family, like all my loved ones and stuff like that, have like really supported me. You know, I'm very, very lucky to have like people that understand me and talk about like sacrifice. And there is a lot of sacrifice, and I think to a lot of us, and this will go for almost any athlete, because they love what they do. Like they maybe don't necessarily see it, and there'll be a few things along the way. Me not coming to certain gigs and stuff because all I care about is my training and stuff, and I'm like blinded by my ambitions of what I want to do. So yeah, like it's a lot of sacrifice for them as well. So that's really helped me over the years. I don't know if there's been a hard part, because I must sort of just take everything as it comes and play what's in front of me. I don't know, things happen for a reason, right? So yeah, I don't know if there was anything hard. To go back to the games. You know, I went into, obviously before with what happened, had a goal of where I would like to finish, and I was reasonably within that. And again, like, you know, I've said before, we go to these events and you almost collect data. Like we know in some workouts where I need to sort of be better, and somewhere where we're doing okay, but doesn't mean we're going to get complacent with it also. Come away and just want to build on that, get closer to that top 10. And I would like to be, not the first UK athlete, because Sam Briggs did it, but I would like to be one of the first male UK athletes to reach that podium one day. I've not done a 5K full time since, again, lockdown, when there was that, I think it was run 5, pick 5, pay 5, or something, whatever it was, like for charity. I'd quite like to go like a sub 19, which, like, I'm sure for some people listening, like, you know, especially like some of these good runners, like, that's nothing to them. But like being able to clean and jerk 160 kilos still and snatch 130, and, you know, and muscle up, all the different things we got going on. Develop on the areas I need to work on and place higher next season. I want to be remembered as he didn't take himself too seriously. He was a bit annoying, but he was all right to be around sometimes. But then when the moment came, he could just switch and get ready for the job and the task at hand. Motivation comes in and out all the time. When you're off the back of a competition, or you've got competition coming up, obviously motivation can be quite high. And then I think I'm constantly, you know, aware of how short a sport career is, so I'm going to make the most of it. Also, like, I'm a real like people pleaser, and it took a lot of people to believe in me and sort of think, you know, I think you can get to this level, and I don't want to let them down. So I just want to keep pleasing people any way I can. Yes, tastes nice. The Bosch. You ready? Door slammer. That was perfect timing. 17-second scream in this song. Did you know that? Might have got this. It's just going. It's even more. It's 20 seconds this time. What do you like to listen to? So we're now heading to GSN headquarters, and I've got a second session this afternoon that hopefully some of the boys will jump in on. That's where they cook the curry sauce, man. I'll have a katsu, please. Oh, I can smell it from here. Yeah, massive. It's about 6 inches, isn't it? Supreme. on then. 2, 1. Keep going. Come on in. Ha!
Just his consistency. I went all out. Round 1, he just carried that on for 6 rounds, same effort. It's mental. Don't train with the fittest man in the UK. That's what I say.
All right, in case people forget me. The way like we sort of train is we're training like the sport versus like the method, and the method is quite like a non-linear concurrent program. Our training sort of for the like sports side of it will be a little bit more linear and with progressions and stuff. Especially now like we're in our off season, things will be broken down into like its single modalities, and that might be, you know, like tomorrow morning we've got a run session. Today we had a little bit more CrossFit, but I've got some lactate sessions later on. It's just on a bike. And it's just broken down into little things. And as like right now where we are in the season, we call it like our base building. And we'll start to build that pyramid and all sort of just like mold it all together and start doing more CrossFit when it comes closer to the season. So that's kind of what like week structures look like at the minute. Recovery, I think for me is it's not just practiced on Thursday and a Sunday. It's like practiced every day. Like take when we talked before about calories and nutrition and everything, like that is practiced every day. So I know that I'm putting my body in the best place to be able to recover. And then when it does come to those specific days, like say Thursday and Sunday, they're genuinely like lighter training session days. Like I'll either have some zone 2 work to do or some swimming followed by some movement work. I really do like doing contrast therapy as well, like sort of hot and cold. And I really like doing that. I'm practicing that every day. Like I know, you know, when we're talking about the carbohydrates, I know that I've got, I think in mine, it's 754 or 51 grams of carbs a day. When we come into carb loading leading into a competition or during the competition week, it will be upwards of 900 grams a day. When I first started like diving into the nutrition side, like, wow, that's so hard to fit all that in one day. And now like I could easily just add another 200. So, but it's because I just practice it every day so that when it comes to competition, I won't be caught out. Yeah, massive. Like I think we actually, funny enough, we were talking about this like earlier. People think more is better and like foot down all the time, but you wouldn't drive a car with your foot down and on the limiter all the time because you're just going to break your car. So similar thing. And there's again that there's no mold that's best for everyone. Like for me, we're actually on a like deload week right now, and I deload every 4 weeks. So I go 3 weeks on of real hard training and it progresses into a really, really heavy week, and then like a backed off week of reduced volume and probably weight as well. And yeah, I think it's massively important, and finding what fits you. Like you could do a little bit more, you could do a little bit less, but yeah, massively important. You've got all your modalities of like the cardio stuff. Let's take run, swim and cycling. We will go to someone more specific in that field. My coach, like he won't think he's the best coach on earth. Like he will still go out and try and learn a little bit more. And especially in this off-season stage, we will venture out. Like gymnastics will go to someone else as well, and then just bring it back all in. So yeah, that's probably sort of anything like different, but we're not doing anything like wacky with Indian clubs or anything. There's no like secret or anything. I feel like I should have a good answer to this one, but all-time favourite WOD would be, I don't know, and I don't know why. I like and respect all of them, but I don't know. I've got least favourite one. I really don't think I have one. I love them all. Favourite workout is probably yoga session with Dan, to be honest. Yeah. The boys I work with, they're very almost like science-based. Like, I don't almost think I struggle with the mental side that much. So when people ask that question, I think I'm mature enough, I believe, to understand that like a sporting career is not a lifelong career. And I know, there's no lifespan on it, but it's short. I won't be doing this forever. So I'm going to make the most of it. Again, another mantra, like I almost like stand by, is win and learn. There'll be events that we did or training sessions we've done that go well. We're not always satisfied by them, because that's when you start getting complacent with everything. We try and think, what did we learn from that? And when things don't go right, like back to the drawing board. Let's actually think about this answer to this question logically. Like, okay, why didn't it go well? Like, was it a performance thing? Okay, we go back to the drawing board, look at it. So try not to dwell on things too much. I like hanging out with my friends. And if they'll watch this and they'll be like, he's talking rubbish, like we hardly see him. But when I do get those rare chances, like, love it. My girlfriend Abby's great. Like, spending a lot of time with her. Like when I came back from the state, my best mates met me at the airport, and like she was like, go do that, because I needed that. And so like that is real good. But just hanging out with people, or just like totally chilling out, is what I like to do. Like massively, almost like a mantra that I stick to is like, how you do something is how you do everything. So if I'm like diligent and focused with my training, everything outside of it has to be like my sleep hygiene, the way I conduct myself, the state of my house, the state of my food, like everything I do has to be as close to perfection almost. If I didn't get the result I wanted, I've done everything I can. I'm not saying that's the method that you need to do to be successful, because I know people that are a bit more chilled and naive and relaxed to things, and that works for them. And being a bit of a robot, we call it for me, is what works for me. Knowing what's going into my body and stuff like that, definitely help. Typical day would be waking up, straight in the fridge, overnight oats that I'd prepared, toast, marmalade or jam, electrolyte, apple juice. First session, come back in, it's a carb drink. It's like a lot of carb. There's an awful lot of carbs in sort of my diet, and very, very low on fats during the day. Carbs, sauces, bananas, like fruit bars, drinks. Then when sort of come to sort of around lunchtime, could be, again, like I said, during the day, it would be like lower on the fats, like predominantly like rice-based dishes with a protein source, maybe like a protein shake somewhere in their day. Second and third sessions, like, again, like it's just carb sources. Like it's like in the evening where I can sort of experiment it a little bit more and start to add some more fats and a little bit more flavor into my day. But like a lot of carbs. It started off like pretty specific, and then I was like, actually, it's just carbs. I take electrolytes, creatine.
I say creatine.
I say creatine, but everyone takes a mick out of me. Whey protein, BCAAs, caffeine. I think that's everything.
Wow.
I take on that. Oh, and then like fish oils and vitamin D, especially at the minute. I don't think it's talked about enough, and that is the black chili bean one. I've had it this afternoon as well. Yeah. It's that or the bolognese. It's pretty banging. We're doing like a 5K program at the moment, and been working a lot off 3K paces. So we're looking to sort of like try and drop that 5K time in total. When you come off the back of competitions and stuff, you're pumped, or you're like, you're X amount of weeks away from doing something, then like motivation kicks in. But you'll be in the middle of winter and it'll be dark and cold and wet, and you fucking don't want to train or anything like that. So you can't rely on motivation completely. And I think sport is not like a lifelong career. To be able to say like I can train and like do this for like a sort of job right now, I kind of have no issues with like doing what I have to do, and I can put intent into everything I do. Have you ever seen those memes? It's like one day you're going to pick up those dumbbells for the last time and you're not going to know it's the last time. It's like that. One day I'm going to do a muscle up, it's going to be the last time I touch those rings. word like scalable or scaling has such like bad connotations. We have a guy called Joe Pearson that works close with us, and he's on the CrossFit seminar staff, and he actually said this to me of like the bad connotations, and scaling can like mean up and down. There'll be a class workout, and I'll even jump in on a couple of class workouts when I'm finished with comp, and he will scale for the best and scale for the rest. Like I could come in and there's a class workout up. There is an intended stimulus with that workout. If Joe thinks, or like any coach thinks, like for me to get that stimulus, I need to scale up and make it harder, then we do that. Then for someone else who maybe is just getting involved, like if it's scaling down to meet that stimulus, then trust that coach in doing that. Because like you said, you're going to get something out of it. When I think, especially in CrossFit a lot, like you come in and you see the word RX and I want to do the deadlifts at that weight, but I know it's just going to turn into crap down the line. Like it's just not worth it. So I would say don't think scale has like a bad connotation. It's up and down for either end of the spectrum. Sleep hygiene. The amount of times I hear of people like want to get stronger, yet they're sleeping 4 hours a night. And I get like, you know, someone could watch this video and be like, it's easy for you to say, you don't have kids. And I get that. And also 7 hours might work for someone and 9 hours might work for someone. And I think trying to find like a good sleep hygiene that works for you, trying to like make the best of what you've got with what situation you have. But I definitely think there are areas that people could tidy up on that. So sleep, you can't out-train a bad diet. Like, let's be honest. It's an argument, and we won't fully go into all of that now, but you can't out-train a bad diet. It doesn't mean, I will say that it doesn't mean you have to track. Like, I'm a bit of a robot. I like to track and have almost like if I know everything's near enough perfect for me, that works for me. There's other people that like to eyeball things. They've got the carb source, they've got some fiber source with like their fruit and veg, and they've got a protein source and fats. Or if that works for you, that's fine. I think opening up your knowledge to it a bit and having a little bit of an understanding. Third thing I would say for maximizing performance, be coachable. We're all guilty of it, of like thinking that we know best. Being coachable and being open-minded to other ideas, I think, is very valuable for maximising performance. Anything quite active, but obviously I'm a bit limited on the things I can do. I like going out on my bike. So yeah, just not allowed to crash on that. That's the main thing. So that's quite good fun. But anything quite active, like I'm happy to literally go along with anything. And seeing my mates and loved ones, and I sometimes can just want to almost just sit on the settee and put a film on. And like I said, I like the sort of like contrast therapy. I genuinely like doing that stuff to sort of chill out as well, but sit and do nothing sometimes. Yeah. But I almost have to be in a state that like hoovering and everything's done. Like I'm a bit like that. I get a bit touchy. So I just almost have to be like nothing. Yeah. Sit there and just watch TV. After the games, I took 4 weeks off. And I went on Netflix and I was like, I've never finished Breaking Bad. Like I've watched it so many times. So I finally finished that. And I don't want to start anything else now because because I train so much and doing so much, like I don't want to like get into something and have my focus taken on that. So I more prefer watching films. But again, that could go all over the place. It could be a rom-com, it could be something action, anything fat and greasy, honestly. Just dirty, filthy burger, kebab, anything. After the games, I don't know if you know, I went to the games. I don't know if I brought it up. Yeah. I remember like just wanting to like indulge in that, adding cheese to everything. I was training at box with my girlfriend, and I'd be like, let's get Mackey's after, because like, why not? I can never do this. When you're doing it, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. But like, I can say I've done it, and then I won't do it for another year. I used to like follow quite a lot of rugby, and I probably don't follow it as much. Well, I definitely don't follow it as much as I used to. Probably because I used to miss it and wish I was sort of playing still, but not enough to stop what I was doing. So I don't watch loads, but I can almost appreciate it if it's on. Like when the Euros was on, I would watch that. I don't really play football or know anything about the players, but I can appreciate it. And when we were in Texas, like the Olympics was on, so we were watching a lot of the track and field events, and I can just sort of appreciate anything and know a few names of people, follow them on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, anything and everything really. Probably again getting hung up by like like especially in CrossFit, they see RX and they want to do it at that, and they're not necessarily meeting the stimulus. Maybe perhaps not having like a reality check of the things that they're bad at, and maybe certainly like thinking more is better, like volume, doing more is good and stuff like that. Like I remember there was a young lad that actually messaged me when I qualified for the games. It was a really nice message, and then he said like he's like looking into doing, and I just said just like make sure you enjoy it, because I've like had a lot of fun leading up to it, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun. And you know, I didn't take myself too seriously. There's parts along the way where I've learned stuff. I'm like, hey, I won't do that again. I'm going to do this. And yeah, I enjoyed it the whole time. I haven't taken myself, too seriously. And so, I would say like enjoy it, and also have a wider look on things. Like take like playing rugby and socializing and drinking, right? My mates love it. Like they do it every weekend and whatnot. And I'm like, you can do that for the rest of your life. Like, but at the same time, you need to do those things as well. Don't, everything in proportion. Yeah. So don't take yourself too seriously. Have fun with it all. I'm going to break his heart. I feel like it's me. He's a right little short ass, isn't he? Who is Craig?